Yeah, sup, good, popping. Oh Lord, I thought we was cracking. About to crack the phone screen. We won't do that. We won't do that. Yeah, what's up? Good, popping, cracking, percolate. What's really good in the hood is your man Theo Butler. We in for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. We in for educational time. Yes, Lord Jesus, we in here for educational time. We in here for damn. How could you? Ain't this your name? It's literally your damn job. Like, where we at? I'm trying to make sure I got what I need and everything. It's literally your damn job. Like that's what it's literally your damn job. And as opposed to doing your job, you're gonna do something else. Like that be my thing. My thing ain't my name ain't explain nothing. My name ain't explained nothing. My name ain't blurred nothing. My name ain't historian nothing. My name is literally, I ain't saying, I'm just saying. And this would be one of them damn times where I could literally be like, damn, I ain't saying, I'm just saying. So we up in here and everything like that. Yeah, I'm trying to get this camera situated because I feel like I'm looking at an angle. I don't really like that. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, so there's been a question. I don't know why, because I feel like, okay, let me go ahead and get this off my chest. I feel like more often than not, I could be wrong. When we talk about T'Challa, it's not to necessarily talk about what good he is. We want to compare him to other folk and say why he ain't doing this and say why he ain't doing that. Somebody right now don't understand why folks is upset with them about their, because they do defend T'Challa. They do. But I can tell that you're one of those gender warriors. And so your thing is going to be, well, why don't, because I'm trying to figure out why we even having this discussion. Why don't T'Challa ever say son of Inyami, son of Ramunda? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because they're not Black Panthers. Maybe because they're not Black Panthers. But here we go. We do talk about the Queen Mother Ramunda. If it wasn't for recast T'Challa, I don't think we would know who Inyami is, because everybody ain't their mama. Well, too many folks feel like believe that Ramunda is T'Challa's mama, when it's literally those of us that are recast T'Challa say, no, that's not his mama. I don't hear anybody else talking about Queen Nahanda outside of recast T'Challa. I don't hear anybody outside of recast T'Challa talking about Queen Turkana. I don't. The dude literally prays to a female deity. He does. And treats that deity with the utmost respect. So instead of introducing gender bigotry into because we already dealing with enough in regards to Black Panther T'Challa, how about if you really are a T'Challa Black Panther fan, let's not introduce your own issues into this, your own personal battle, the gender wars, because we don't do that here. We don't do that here. We don't. You got way too many of us walking around with 8, 9, 10, 11, 20 figures of Dora Milaje action figures. Some of us even got the Queen Mother Ramunda at the house as an action figure. For you to be doing it, it's a selfish move. It's a selfish move. You took your shot. And folks fired back at you. Now you want to play victim. No, don't play victim, because you didn't have to do that. And I'm saying that as a girl dad. I'm saying that as somebody who has been a supporter of the female characters like none other. You didn't have to do this. Wrong time, wrong place. Wrong time, wrong place. Wrong time, wrong place as a comic book reviewer. Let me get these notes out the way, because I'm finna go in. And smarter, if not smarter, we in here. Yeah. That's a Rama Fall in the building. My brother Kamoyo King, president of the Black Panther fan group. My fellow devil dog Juju Rose is in the building. T'Challa and Reed are peers, so he's on a level intellection. Come on, somebody. We about to drop receipts. Y'all know how we get down. My brother Daryl, one half of the Rock With Me Nation, is in the building. Is he saying to draw attention? He can't be that stupid. Well, Daryl, I'm like this. When you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So we're gonna find out today what prize he didn't want. You are the son of your father. His title is what's prominent, not the mother. Yep. Fantastic 452. There come y'all. Y'all in here. Fantastic 452. Yeah. Let me see. Does he not know how Eastern patriarchal custom? Well, that's not Rob saying that. That's somebody else saying that. And that's not a dude saying it. It's a young lady saying it. And she's not understanding what went on and everything like that. So we got two different things. I opened up the show talking about the young lady, not talking about her, because no, not going to do that. But the misunderstanding her actions. And she's not understanding, because like I said, she is a supporter of Recast T'Challa, but she's not understanding what offended people. Well, what offended people is you injecting your own narrative into it. You ain't have to do that. This character is already dealing with a lot. This character, by her injecting that, I don't know if she realizes she reinforced the misogynistic trope, the misogynistic rumor, the misogynistic stereotype is already floating around Recast T'Challa. I'm not aware if she knew that's what she was doing when she was doing that, but I'm like, Queen, two things can be true. You can be a stern Recast T'Challa fan, and you can also be so proud of your gender that to a degree, you're going to be blind when you deal with this. You're not going to be aware of what you're going to say and how it's going to affect the movement. This was not the move. That wasn't the time. As far as Comics Explained goes, yeah, that's a whole different issue. So we've been having this thing online now. I don't know why. Is T'Challa as smart as Reed Richards? Damnest thing, considering the movie that's coming out in December. Like, I would like to think that Comics Explained would explain comics. This is what he did. One word, two letters, followed by one period. No, that was his response. This was what he did to, now he's Comics Explained. This is what he put there to support his stand. He's Comics Explained. And I think it's safe to say, if I went onto Marvel Wiki, and having read Marvel Wiki in comparison to having actually read the comics, Marvel Wiki is subject to get stuff wrong. It is. Now, if I look at Marvel Wiki, I'm not necessarily sure if I participate in Marvel Wiki, but he put the Marvel link down there as if I give two damns, as if any nerd that actually reads the comic, like, bro, you should actually be able to state the feats to back up your example, as opposed to just some random list. 10 smartest superheroes, from super scientists to mutant masterminds. Check out our list of Marvel's most intelligent characters and watch the video above to learn more about how we rank them. T'Challa's number 10. Amadeus Cho is number 9, and if I remember correctly, Imperial, Jonathan Hickman. T'Challa faced off against not only Amadeus Cho in Hulk form, who still had his scientific intellect, but he also faced off against World Breaker Hulk, who was still in possession of his scientific intellect. T'Challa made both of them look stupid. And in doing so, he used his vibranium daggers, right? He used the teleport. He used his teleportation device. He made them look stupid. Henry McCoy, all right? Well, that wasn't Henry McCoy during the time Runs Out event that built the raft. That was Reed and T'Challa. That wasn't Hank that came up with no shadow physics. That was T'Challa. That wasn't Hank, who was available, that helped Reed reverse engineer. When I say help Reed, also reverse engineer the bombs to blow up a complete planet. That was T'Challa. That was T'Challa. That was T'Challa. Not saying that Hank ain't smart, but I know who created shadow physics, which can track vibranium anywhere and everywhere, point blank period. I know who did it. Then me and my brother Daryl were both reading Avengers Beyond, where I got Tony Stark and T'Challa, who ain't talking to one another, ain't communicating, building halves to the same device and they work perfectly. That's all I know. Then I also got the maker, who's as smart as a whip, asking Reed, what plan did he come up with? So the maker don't know what plan Reed came up with. He can't figure Reed out. Reed ain't came up with no plan. Reed says, it's not my plan. It's T'Challa's. Riri Williams, that's crazy. Because she was actually taking direction from T'Challa in Ta-Nehisi Coates in the Galactic Empire. Riri Williams, well, she was in Wakanda. She was taking direction from T'Challa. I don't necessarily know if you need to take direction from that dude if you're smarter than him. Hank Pym, well, I think based on Ultron, I think we understand that Hank to a degree is a fraud, right? Because there is no such thing as a science supreme. There's a sorcerer supreme, but there is no science supreme. Now that's a lie. That's something Ultron came up with. All right, let me keep going. Valeria Richards, that's crazy. She's smart. She ain't invented no shadow physics. She's smart. And even she didn't know what plan T'Challa had going on Battle World. Now, I ain't saying she ain't smart. I'm just saying. I got physically. Wasn't this dude in Hell's Kitchen with no powers and everything like that? Making stuff, creating stuff. Wasn't that him? Huh? Bruce Banner. Please see when I previously talked about Amadeus Cho. Tony Stark. Did I not say Avengers Beyond? Yeah, this getting too easy. Reed Richards. Oh, time runs out. Secret Wars. Wait, hold on. We didn't even have to go that far back. We could have stayed right there. Fantastic 452. Didn't he outsmart all of them? Did he beat all of them? It's some good coffee right here. You see how I'm talking about stories? I ain't talking about not one damn link. No, I'm talking about stories. You can actually go pick up a comic book and read it. Yeah, I ain't going off no miscellaneous list that somebody, Lunella Lafayette. Anybody seen her? I mean, her scientific accomplishment. I ain't saying she ain't smart. I ain't saying she ain't smart. I'm just saying, I got examples right here. And let's talk about examples before I transition on over to examples. Let me come back on over here because I was taught to mind my manners. Grand Madam Tarot, our own Queen Mother, is in the building. What is going on? Juju Harama Fall actually Eternity referred to Pym as Scientist Supreme. Feels right or created. Yeah. They came back and said that was a lie. Ain't no such thing. Hacked the Shi'ar computers in mid-flight during the Qatar invasion. Damn sure did. Damn sure did. The one person in the Impossible City felt truly understood it. Damn sure was. Avengers based from a dead Celestial. Come on, talk your talk. That's why we call him the president of the Black Fan Group. You better talk your talk. That's Kamoyo King, everybody. That's Kamoyo King. T'Challa has bested everyone on whatever top 10 list you can put up in Marvel Comics. You know what? I want to do this though, Kamoyo, because there's some responsibility that we bear as comic book reviewers. There's an accountability that we bear, especially if your name is Comics Explained. You're not. It's not comic book reviewer. It's not comic book critic. It's Comic Books Explained. You're supposed to explain some stuff. A 2-letter answer followed by a period and a link with names on it, with nobody's name attached to it that we can say is a credible comic book expert. Don't do nothing. Don't. But let's do this here. Let me act like I'm Comics Explained for a second, or for a few minutes, right? I'm gonna put on my Comics Explained hat. Y'all stay with me. All right. So T'Challa showed up in 1966, right? Dumb question. How do we know how smart Reed is? No. Forget the scale and everything like that. Forget 1 through 10. How do you happen to know how smart Reed is? Because you didn't see Reed do some stuff, right? You've been seeing Reed do stuff since you was a kid. Amen. Amen. You've been seeing Reed do stuff. Whether Hanna-Barbera did it, whether Fox did it. I think Fox did it twice. But yeah, you see Reed. You see Reed. Like this, they every time, and he called Mr. Fantastic. Let's just stay right there. And we ain't really showing his stretching ability as much as we showing Reed standing in front of a chalkboard, figuring out some stuff and everything like that. His wife feeling neglected and everything because he more focused on figuring out some stuff and everything like that. We don't get to see T'Challa like that. No, what did T'Challa show up in a Hanna-Barbera cartoon back in the day? Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. No. Galactus showed up. The Silver Surfer showed up. Dr. Doom showed up. Ain't no. We ain't get no T'Challa didn't show up, and we ain't get no Black Panther cartoon. So we're not the common person, the average person, even the comic book person isn't being exposed to T'Challa's scientific intellect. We know that. Not on a continuous basis. We know that. We read comics. We know that. There's always going to be a reason for Reed's scientific intellect to be on Front Street in the Fantastic Four comic book. They're scientific explorers. That's what they're billed as, right? That's the first dadgum family, ain't it? All right. Well, when T'Challa is over in the Avengers comic book, everything don't call for a scientific solution. So sometimes you just need to get them paws put on. And as the most dangerous man alive, he's equally adept at outthinking you and out physically you. Now, I know that's not a word, but I'm just saying, like he can do both. You can get them hands, or you can get that IQ. Either way, you can get the hands, you can get the feet, or you can get the IQ. Either way, he comfortable. You can get the scientific. Lord have mercy. You can get the scientific, you can get the mystical. Either way, he Gucci. He like Drew Hill. Tell him what you want. And Rob knows that. Rob knows that. The question that's asked in regards to is T'Challa as smart as Reed? Is it as simple as a 2-letter word? And he knows that. Now, I want to make sure I say this right. I don't play when it comes to being accurate. And what I get from some folks is too much inaccuracy. For some, I almost feel like the inaccuracy is deliberate. And this be one of them times when I feel like it's deliberate. I don't want to feel that way. I don't. But for me not to feel that way, then that means Rob don't know what I know. And since Rob is him, then yes, Rob knows what I know in regards from comic book creation, from the time the comic book is created to the time it hit the comic book store. Rob knows this. So for somebody who knows everything it entails to creating a comic book, keeping a character relevant, right, to the point where we don't forget that character's legacy because we still telling that character story. So Rob knows why, should be able to articulate why the perception could be that this character is actually smarter because of the many times we show this character doing smart things. Rob should know that. Rob should know that. But just like Rob should know that, Rob should also know T'Challa's feats when the writer chooses to put them there. The mere fact that we're talking about a movie coming out in a few months that is leaning heavily off the Jonathan Hickman Time Runs Out in Secret Wars storyline. And for that dude with the baseball cap that was just wearing a FUBU hoodie back in 2001 to act like T'Challa is the 10th intelligent. Yeah, I'm gonna say, you probably need to change the name. Comic book reviewer. Let's just go ahead and get rid of the explain, because we picking and choosing when we want to explain some stuff. If I'm not mistaken, Rob was also one of those mantle people, and we don't want to explain nothing. We just want to say some stuff. No. Your name requires more than you just saying some stuff. Your name requires more than you just saying some stuff. And I find it odd how you just choose to just say some stuff in regards to certain characters. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna leave it right there. But I'm not gonna use the word that I would use. But Rob, your response was full of shit on Sunday. So yeah, I'm gonna say that right there. We all know that it's an attempt to diminish T'Challa further, since Shuri would be interacting with Reed instead of her brother. And from what we read, she ain't gonna be doing what T'Challa would have been doing. Never mind. He need to change his name then, because he ain't explaining jack. This is coming from my brother Daryl. And if Marvel Wiki saying that, it can easily be trumped by Feast, bruh. And he know that. And Rob has reviewed Time Runs Out. He's reviewed Secret Wars. They got a super playlist over there. So what didn't he get from the storyline? Because there's a couple of things going on in that storyline that hint at T'Challa's superior intellect. It's a couple of things over there. We talking Tony. Tony, what is in that story, and Tony ain't helped Reed backward build nothing. Rob know that. Rob knows that. Rob knows that it was T'Challa that used the Power Stone, and if I'm not mistaken, what was it? The Power Stone? I don't think it was the Time Stone. The Power Stone and the Reality Stone. Rob know that. Rob knows that. Rob know that was T'Challa that came up with the plan to defeat Doom. That wasn't Reed. Rob know that. Rob know that. So I don't know what Rob has reviewed that story. I don't know what Rob know that. Jonathan Hickman wrote that intentionally. Rob know what happened in that Imperial storyline. Rob know that. I don't think Rob has ever reviewed Black Panther in Hell's Kitchen, but I did. I don't think Rob has reviewed Doom War, Deadliest Other Species, nor Power. But I know shadow physics is in that. I know shadow physics. So there's nothing that I know that Rob don't know. Which then begs the question. If he knows what I know, then how are you making it as cut and dry simple as no, when even if you see, this is why folks don't like AI. This is why folks don't like AI. Because AI don't agree with that damn list. AI says the same damn thing I said. When you take everything into consideration in regards to T'Challa and how he interacts with Marvel characters, they always line him up as being comparable, not to Tony, not to Hank, not to Shuri, not to Riri, not to the young lady. No, he's always compared to Reed. Okay, so what we doing? What we doing? What we doing? I really want to say there's only one damn character they really keep comparing to Reed. It's that dude right there. Intellectually speaking, he's compared to Reed. Physically speaking, they want to keep comparing him to Steve. I'm gonna be honest with you. He didn't surpass Steve. Steve better not ever pull up on the fade. He gonna get hurt. He gonna get hurt. Damn all that what that dude wrote over there in John Ridley. And this is where Rob and I are supposed to be one of the same. We're supposed to be able to spot when the writer gets it wrong, because we're supposed to be, say it with me now, comic book historians. We're supposed to know when the writer getting it wrong. Not just go along with what the writer says, because the writer is just the writer. We're the comic book historians. We're the comic book explainers. We're the comic book teachers. The writer is just the writer. Rob, I'm not Ernie. And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not Ernie. I'm not Ernie. I mean that the best way possible. Ain't no shade to nobody else. I'm not finna go back and forth, get into no pissing contest. But you either don't know what you're talking about. Let me say it like this. When it comes to all things T'Challa, you either stupid or you ignorant. My wife would say, don't say that. And I'm like, it's either one of the two. You either don't know any better, which makes you ignorant. I find that hard to believe. Or you being stupid, which means you do know better and you just capping for the gram. It's one of the two. It's one of the two. It's one of the two. Let me see. My brother Daryl says Shadow Fix. Absolutely. My brother Kamoyo says T'Challa has bested everyone on whatever top 10 list you could put in Marvel Comics. I mean, I read the stories. Yeah, I like certain characters, but I don't know if anybody. Which one of them I thought Doom? And T'Challa did that twice. Let's see. Doom didn't see T'Challa nerfing all the vibranium. T'Challa outthought him in Doom War. And Doom didn't see T'Challa outthinking him in Secret War. This Doom. And I got at least 2 examples of T'Challa outthinking this dude. Okay. Well, here's the damnedest thing. I know Rob read one of them stories. I can't vouch for if he read the other one. But in both stories, I got the King of Wakanda outthinking Doom. And in one of them, he was God Emperor Doom. And T'Challa still outthought him. Now, I don't know what that means intellectual-wise, IQ-wise, but I know I got at least 2 instances where T'Challa outsmarted Victor. I don't know what anybody want me to do with that, but I got at least 2 examples of this dude outsmarting Victor. I got an example of this dude outsmarting Wilson Fisk. I got an example when this dude first debuted outsmarting Reed. I got a couple examples of this dude being just as smart as Reed. I got a couple examples of this dude being just as smart as Tony. So when folks talk about his intellectual IQ and lack thereof, I got actual damn stories. I don't know what they looking at. I don't know what they looking at. Let me see here. The underrating of T'Challa is just crazy. So now the question becomes, what is more credible, feats or facts? Hey, well, Daryl, we know what ChatGPT told us. Folks can say what they want to. We got actual stuff that didn't occur. And then, like I said, are we really having this conversation if T'Challa has shown up as many times as Reed? Are we really questioning how smart T'Challa is in comparison to some other characters if he's had ongoing titles like they've had? Because what we got? Reed, we got Tony. Okay, that's the Fantastic Four, and that's Iron Man right there. We're going to sit up here and say, Hank, okay, well, T'Challa ain't showing up in the Avengers like Hank is, right? No, we're not doing that. Riri Williams, well, shit. I think Riri done damn near had just as many ongoing monthly titles as T'Challa has, right? Damn near Miles then surpassed him, right? Okay, what we talk about? Peter, damn, I don't even want to do that. You got Tom Holland. It's crazy because Tom Holland can be in the MCU being mentored by Tony Stark, and you get to see both of their scientific intellect on display. But you see T'Challa and Shuri in the MCU, and you don't get to see T'Challa's scientific intellect on display. So you getting reinforcement right then and there that that Peter, Tony, and Shuri are smart. You ain't getting none of that. You ain't getting none of that. So you subject not to know how smart T'Challa is because it ain't on Front Street. And everybody that called himself a damn nerd knows it. Even the dude with the big, it was amazing. You know what would be amazing? It'd be amazing if you did your damn job. That's what would be amazing. And no, this ain't no personal attack. It's me telling you, you whipped on this one. You supposed to dive in. Your job is to explain comments. You ain't explain nothing. You just said no. Well, who that was for? Who was that for? Because just like I'm sitting up here mentioning T'Challa's feats, you didn't even do that. You just said no and then gave a Marvel Wiki link. Damn. Cut and dry, huh? It's crazy. Because I'm of the mindset anybody with any type of critical thinking will look at what you put out there, and then if they listen to this live, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, I thought you said no. This dude's saying some stuff. Now, how am I saying some stuff that you could have easily said but chose not to? See, this is what gets you in trouble with certain folks and have people looking at you sideways during Black History Month. Also, folks get smart and intelligent confused. You're absolutely right. Let me see here. Grand Madam says, we are shown with every cartoon comic that readers in the lab are speaking on the science. Damn sure is. Kamoyo says, Prophet, that's a whole video right there. Feats of facts. My brother Daryl says, mastering magic makes you science supreme. Got it. Read is it now? Guess it depends on how writers and editors feel that week. Yep. Both intelligent, but T'Challa is smarter. What's going on, Big Jermaine? What's going on? Anons and the Spiders in the building. Kamoyo said, I rank T'Challa with Doom, then Reed, then Tony. Kamoyo says, with his greeting folks and everything, Reed tends to not see the obvious. This is his biggest shortcoming. This is how I look at it right here. I'm gonna use sports terminology. If you run a 4.40, right? And when they clocked you at 4.42. I come in and I run the 40. I run a 4.4. They clocked me at 4.2.5. Now we're talking semantics, right? That speed is right there. It's gonna be some days I'm gonna get you. It's gonna be some days you're gonna get me. It's gonna be some days you able to figure out something. It's gonna be some days you can't figure it out. It's gonna be some days I can figure out something. Some days I can't figure it out. On the days I can't figure out something, you're gonna be able to figure it out. On the days you can't figure out something, I'm gonna be able to. That's life. That's life. But I'm not oblivious to the subliminal messages we want to send when we want to have these conversations in regards to T'Challa. Rob got choices on the table. You either read them damn stories, dude, or you didn't. And if you didn't read them stories, then you're not educated enough to speak. You either read them stories or you didn't. If you didn't read them stories, you're not educated enough to explain. If you did read them stories and you choose not to explain the nuances in regards to the comparisons between T'Challa and Reed, that makes you a fraud in my eyes. That makes you a fraud. That means you're only going to explain the comics that you care about. You're only going to explain the characters that you care about, and you're not going to do your due diligence when somebody comes to you with an ignorant point of view. You're not going to explain it because you don't care. You would just let that narrative stay out there, bruh, on everything. On everything. If you're not going to keep it a buck, and you're not going to explain, I'm going to say the same thing to you that I say to everybody else. Keep Black Panther out your mouth. It's enough misinformation out there right now. And if you're not going to do what you're supposed to do as a comic book explainer, explain it, shut up. That gives me the impression you don't care about this character like that anyway. You don't have to. You don't. Don't talk about the character. Don't speak on the character. Don't mention the character. Just don't. Because what you did on X was too easy. And when I say too easy, it was too easy to dispute. It's almost as if you think you're the only one that read comic books. That's crazy. Let me see. My brother Daryl says, what we need is a Dr. Doom respect thread a Reed Richards respect thread and a T'Challa respect thread and see who's top diggity. That sounds like a video series, Prophet. Yo, Theo, what I missed? Lex, what we missed was folks doing the normal, misspeaking on T'Challa for whatever reason. That's got to be the most disliked character out there right now. That character ain't getting no support. Lex, let me see. He hasn't even reviewed Jungle Action. That's crazy, but I believe it. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't. A dude that has when we talk about and shout out to Mr. Ray Smith, sent me the video on Dwayne McDuffie. For someone who I will go so far as to say is of mixed ethnicity, right? For that person to do the milestone FUBU comparison and everything as if it's like, okay, well that's black. It's comic book. And folks that wanted to see black characters, regardless of what their ethnicity was, race was, they enjoyed those series. Milestone characters aren't still around today just because black folks like them damn characters. That's ludicrous. We literally had a damn cartoon. But for him to say what he said in February, it reeked of irresponsibility on my behalf. It's like you're not bothering to be empathetic or sympathetic or try and understand what this dude is talking about. You're not. And that's the problem in today's society. Folks want to be understood, but they don't want to bother understanding people. No. If you keep hanging around, interacting with folks that make disparaging comments about other people, that is a reflection on you as a person. You're supposed to be better than that. Why are you hanging with them? Then when somebody asks you a question about character, somebody can ask me a question about Spider-Man. I'm not finna throw Peter up under the bus. I'm not finna throw Bruce up under the bus. I'm not finna act like I don't know about these characters, regardless of what their gender is, what their orientation is, or what their race is. No, I'm a nerd. Folks come to you to get the actual factual. Well, you either gonna do one or two things. You either gonna say something to push a narrative, or you just gonna keep that thing a hand down. And over here, we believe in being accurate. We don't care about being right or wrong. We prefer to be accurate. Well, Rob didn't give two damns about being accurate on this one. Lex, who's the smartest in comparison versus who are on the same intellectual level? That's Kamoyo answering the question. Most of these haven't went that far back. Some even started from the Colts run and proclaimed themselves expert. This is true because you can tell based on their comments, they don't go back. They don't go back. And you can tell because not only do they not go back, it's like they don't have a healthy, some of them, not all of them, don't even have a healthy appreciation for what occurred. Even though they're Black Panther fans, that's what they say. They don't even have a healthy appreciation for what the character achieved before they became Black Panther fans. I'm like, damn, that's like me not being proud of what the Georgia Bulldogs did before I was born. I wasn't around in 1949. I still got me a national championship though. 49, 80, 2000, 2001. Yeah, I got all that. Let me see here. Jermaine says Steve should never become compared to T'Challa. T'Challa not some regular super soldier. Bra is king of the dead. Take it in account. Blessed by a river goddess and had vampire. Yes and no, Jermaine. I can understand how folks would have compared Steve back in the day. I can understand how folks that don't read comics would compare Steve and T'Challa today. I can understand that. But just like I can understand how they could make those comparisons today, they have to also be just as understanding when I say, okay, those things, they're no longer comparable. This dude that has several power-ups, he OP right now. T'Challa hit Steve one time, T'Challa going to sleep. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody retconned them ability. This dude got blessed by Sekhmet. He got blessed by Baz. He got blessed by Anuke, and ain't nobody snatching them powers back. So this is where being able to explain the comics that you've actually read comes into play, as opposed to just regurgitating talking points. Good call, Jermaine. Lex says one thing for sure is I know Reed has made more mistakes than T'Challa. And can we, because I'm reviewing Ta-Nehisi Coates right now. I'm bringing that comic book review to us later on today. Issue 1, One World Under Our Feet, something like that there and everything. And I think folks who started there and didn't read any of the previous stories, I don't think they really understand why stuff was effing with T'Challa so much in that first issue. This dude had been through Wakanda wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for him. Like, I can imagine, like, I didn't came back from Battle World. I didn't use the Infinity Gauntlet along with the Power Stone and the Reality Stone. And I done got us flipped back. It's either the Reality Stone or the Power Stone, the Reality Stone or Time Stone. I done flipped it back to what the folks who was dead, on the students, are now alive. We finna launch this spaceship into, right? We finna get this going on and everything like that. In my Wakanda, because my Wakanda was about to be gone. You see what I'm saying? Like, my Wakanda is gone. I'm on Battle World. I ain't got no Wakanda. Wakanda destroyed. Everything gone. This dude orchestrated everything to get Wakanda back. And as soon as you get back, you go to the Vibranium Mound and your folks mad at you. Your folks mad at you. Then folks who was buying into what John Ridley was I'm like, okay, so let me see if I got this right. I got the Queen Mother Ramunda. She done sentenced Anika to death. That wasn't T'Challa. That was not T'Challa that made that. That was the Queen Mother Ramunda. So why ain't nobody mad at her? She the one that said, no, I ain't. No, I hear what you're saying, but we expect better to Dora Milaje. So yeah. Anika got to die. So it makes no sense for the Doors to have been as mad as they were at T'Challa in John Ridley's run. This was the Queen Mother doing this. Never mind. Folks be wanting to interpret their own thing. And then you look at the very last page, we like, I got to bring my sister back. Now, you know what I found ironic about that last page? It says resuscitation failed. Resuscitation failed. And it said that twice. Resuscitation failed. And all I could think about was Black Panther 2. Shooty call herself trying to resuscitate T'Challa, and it keeps saying failure, failure, failure. That's all I could think about. Yeah, that don't sound like the mechanizations of somebody that's stupid. That don't sound like the mechanization of somebody that's not intelligent. Yeah, let me keep up. Let's see here. The Nazi says Black Panther related. I just found out there's a Black female character named Aloy Ramon Watts who wears vibranium armor that she turns into weapons. Marvel should use her in T'Challa stories. You got to get T'Challa stories first. Anazi says, I agree. T'Challa surpassed Steve in the super soldier category when Hickman made T'Challa King of the Dead, superhuman. Yeah, it was a wrap. When he did that, great call, Anazi, because I'm sitting there like, and we talk about this as Black Panther fans. Like, wait a minute, hold on. He got blessed by an unknown deity when Shooty was the Black Panther. Ain't nobody want to tell us nothing. We didn't try to ask Jonathan Mayberry. We ain't getting no response. Okay, we're gonna say that was Bad Sister. Sekhmet. Shout out to Grand Madam Tarot and Kamoyo for the name and everything like that. So Sekhmet blessed Buddy. And the only reason why we're saying it is because we do got proof of him being in Hell's Kitchen. Now he's strong. He's strong. We ain't knocking that. He's strong. But at this particular point in time, he's supposed to be a regular human, and I don't know not one human, Brock Lesnar included, holding a man dangling over a roof with one arm. He did that. I'm like, that's not what a regular man gonna do. So I'm saying to myself, okay, Sekhmet blessed you. You just wasn't as strong as your sister Shorty. But then you go back to Wakanda, you get blessed the King of the Dead. Stay with me. So you got them abilities. Then your sister Shorty falls. So you now become the Black Panther again. So now you got not just the King of the Dead abilities for Necropolis. No, use a whole ass Black Panther. Now I don't know what your power scale was as the King of the Dead, but you wasn't soft. You wasn't Hell's Kitchen Black Panther. No, you something different. You something different. Now you didn't got blessed by Bash to be the King of the Dead. Well, hold on, let me go back. You got blessed by Bash to be the Black Panther. You got blessed by Sekhmet because you're no longer the Black Panther. You get blessed by Bass to be the King of the Dead. You get blessed by Bass again to be the Black Panther as well as the King of the Dead. And you get blessed by Anuke while you are still the Black Panther, also the King of the Dead. Man, don't nobody want that. Don't nobody want that. And I'm looking at folks like, no, he ain't got them abilities. I ain't seen no retcons, big dog, and I've been keeping up. I've been keeping up. I'm sorry. I've been keeping up. I've been keeping up. Ain't none of them abilities been written out of existence. Okay, all right. Well, Be Real says, how many times has Doom pulled up on T'Challa versus Reed? He don't do that. Once. And they say, we better not ever see you in Wakanda again. We see you in Wakanda again, it's gonna be a problem. You going to sleep. Oh, Lex said everyone else makes mistakes. T'Challa most likely would never make. They call that dude the most dangerous man alive for a reason. I didn't write that. I didn't create that. And Carol Danvers referring to that dude as the most dangerous man alive in the most recent Avengers run by Jed McKay. I didn't write that. I didn't write that. As a matter of fact, David List had that out there while he was in Hell's Kitchen. Black Panther, most dangerous man alive. I didn't write that. I didn't create that back then. I didn't do that. I just read it. And then, well, he took on Wilson Fisk, pulled up on him. Okay, well, that's kind of dangerous. You know, beat the hate monger. Okay, well, that's kind of beat the American Panther. Okay, beat a super soldier. Oh, all right. Okay, all right. Beat Craven the Hunter. Beat what is it, Typhoid Mary and Lady Bullseye? I don't know what you want me to say with that. Had Luke Cage on the ground. Hey man, watch how you talk to me, big dog. I don't care nothing about all that scream. Watch how you talk to Who's always 3 steps ahead of most of his opponents? T'Challa. I don't even know why we doing this. If we gonna keep comparing T'Challa to Batman, okay, well, damn it. Because we ain't having these conversations about Bruce. Okay, well, if we want to say T'Challa is Marvel's Batman, okay, well, damn it, T'Challa is Marvel's Batman. So now we ain't got to ask no question. Prep time, got it. Money, got it. 3 steps ahead, got that. Always coming out on top, got that. Inexplicably coming out on top, got that. Okay. Smart as hell, okay. Because we ain't never finna ask no question about Bruce. Okay, well, I don't know why we asking it. If T'Challa had as many comic book appearances as these characters we want to keep comparing him to, we wouldn't be asking this question. It would either be yeah or no. But it ain't simply yeah or no when we know damn good and well he ain't showing up like Reed. Thus, his scientific achievements ain't showing up as often as Reed's. But like I said, we do have that dude outsmarting Reed in his first appearance. I don't know what you want me to do with that one. He outsmarted Doom in Doom War. I don't know what you want me to do with that one. He outsmarted the Maker, Reed, and Doom in Secret Wars, and Time Runs Out. I don't know what you want me to do with that one. He sat up there and created a device. Daryl, me and you reviewed that comic book, Avengers Beyond. He created one half. He created one half of it. Tony created the other half of it, and they didn't talk. You ain't stupid keeping up with Tony Stark. And y'all ain't talking. He and Reed backwards engineered the bombs to blow up in Earth. You backwards with Reed. And Tony sitting right there. Tony didn't do it. Hank was in that story. Hank didn't do it. Shooter was alive and well. Shooter didn't do it. Peter was alive and well. No. Jonathan Hickman said it's Reed and T'Challa. He didn't even look at them other characters. Well, if he didn't look at them other characters and Rob swears by Jonathan Hickman, then why is Rob talking about some damn list? No, you're supposed to be telling for what Jonathan Hickman said, and Jonathan Hickman tell you it's T'Challa. So, you don't know about all that. Is Blue Marvel a tactician? Here we go. That's a great question. You know why Adam ain't on that list, even though we know what they say about Adam as far as his qualifications, because Adam don't show up like that. But what? Wait. We can put Adam on that list based on this one comic book interaction. When they talked about after Secret Wars, Adam was there. Adam said, why didn't y'all contact me? I could have solved this a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. And Reed was like, yeah, you damn sure could have. So even Adam is, if not just as smart as Reed, smarter than Reed, because the characters around Adam at that time are admitting, yeah, he could have solved this problem. But if you don't read comics, you're not going to know that. Now, Rob know that too. You either, with great power comes great responsibility, and some folks choose to use their abilities to help the world. Some folks choose to use their abilities to keep the status quo. I believe in using my knowledge to help the world, not keep us separate, right? And as my brother Daryl likes to say, shout out to KRS-One, knowledge reigns supreme over almost everything. Amen, amen. My brother Daryl says vastly more strategic. I'm gonna say Kamoyo says vastly more strategic. My brother Daryl says Rob need a nice tall glass of at least on this topic. Yeah, I need that. I'm right there with you, big dog. Anansi says, and he gets no ice either. He I wasn't ready for that follow-up. He don't get no ice either. He just got to drink that warm. Damn. Lex said, I feel like a big factor with T'Challa versus Reed and who's the smartest is T'Challa is a king. He has to see the bigger picture and playing way more than Reed might. And here's the thing, Lex, that I don't want to get lost in the sauce. The whole versus thing. But whatever, and when I'm looking at Black Panther versus, those verses are used more so to undermine about Black Panther than educate about Black Panther. And so I don't want to frame this live as being a Reed versus T'Challa or T'Challa versus Reed. The question would be, is T'Challa just as smart as Reed? Well, he's Reed's intellectual peer. Folks gonna try and qualify that statement. Well, what does that mean? That means I'm your peer. I'm intellectually your peer. You want to have an argument about, and this is when I'm looking at people, you want to have an argument about who's the smartest. I'm your intellectual peer. If I say I'm your athletic peer, are we having an argument about who's the smartest? Or do we just understand me and you in the same damn room? Me and you in the same damn room. When we look at peers as far as basketball greats of all time, well, Michael Jordan is 6-0. Bill Russell is 11-0. Who else in that room? Who else is in that room? We want so much, and I'm sick and tired of it, because I feel like the underlying meaning at the end of the day is to degrade a people. Like, that's why I feel like, because if I can degrade this character that folks keep looking at, and mind you, that's powerful, because why you got to bash T'Challa? Why you just can't tell the real about T'Challa? Well, the only reason why folks are going so hard, in my opinion, to belittle the character is because they understand the significance of that character and they want to nerf that. Because if bad is bad, if the character is being written as trash, if the character has not achieved anything in the comic books, you ain't got to lie. You can just say this character has done nothing of note. This character has done nothing scientific in the comic books for that claim to even be made. But they can't even say that. Then when you look at folks that are anime fans, or at the very least have those anime profile pics and everything like that, well, if I'm looking at it like this, I don't know how much respect the anime fan thinks I got for them disparaging T'Challa. You're an anime fan. I'm not knocking you, but I understand I'm not really appreciated in anime. My dollars might be appreciated, but my participation in anime as far as a character is slim to none. We watch all those anime cartoons and everything like that. I ain't really popping up in the cartoons like that. I'm not. And if I do, it's always as a character of myself. It's never me doing anything significant. Where there's quite a few anime fans that feel like they got a lot to say about Black Panther. I don't know why. You're not a Black Panther fan. You're not a comic book fan. And if you are an anime fan, while it might not be right for me to feel this way, I'm more so of the mindset you coming in with a bigoted opinion. You're coming in with a bigoted opinion. You're definitely not coming in with an empathetic opinion. And so you get not taken seriously in regards to your opinions. What doesn't help is when you got somebody that calls themselves a comic book, this, that, the other, third, chiming in with that nonsense when it's easily proven otherwise. Let me get here. Kamoyo said, had Doris talking reckless. Yep. Jermaine says, Anansi the Spider compared to T'Challa. No. Then again, Blue Marvel is not in enough stories to show he's up there. Yeah, that's what that is. I believe Adam Brashear, if I'm looking at the Ultimates, if I'm looking at the way Adam Brashear was written, and I'm looking at the way T'Challa was written, watch what I'm getting ready to say. They are intellectual peers. If I look at how Adam Brashear has been written when he shows up and how T'Challa has been written when he shows up, he's T'Challa's intellectual peer. If I look at Adam Brashear and the conversations he's had with Reed Richards, Reed and Adam are intellectual peers. Let's see here. My brother Daryl is laughing at Anansi. Kamoyo says either Sekhmet or Maz, the lion god, or Wagoba, the tiger god, bless T'Challa, one of the two. Kamoyo says Nighthawk is Marvel's Batman. You know what? Because it'd be nice if you got. Could we get the brother Kyle written like he's supposed to? Now, matter of fact, damn it, could we just get him written? Anyway, he need to show up in Wakanda. Nighthawk need to show up in Wakanda. T'Challa chose that dude to replace him on the Avengers during Ridley's run. He need to be in Wakanda. Daryl, why you here, big dog? Rhinos. T'Challa took two of them down. Could you give me the sizes of both of them real quick? The sizes of both of them real quick. If you could get that to me, big dog. You or Kamoyo. It's two. Because I know we took down one doing Don McGregor's run. We took one down then. And I think we took down another one and everything like that. If y'all can help your brother out, appreciate it. Good looking. Let's see here. He did it once doing Amazing Adventure in the early 70s. That was before he had the kinetic habit. Sure did. Doom invading Wakanda. Yep. Notice that alien empires actually respect T'Challa. They treat him as the actual adult in the room. What did he tell Gladiator? Hey, man, you put your hands on my sister? No, I ain't put my hands on your sister. No, not me. Not me. Oh, so when you say not you, the Imperial Guard put their hands on my sister. Well, I mean, she was impersonating you, so okay. So when all this is over with, me and you, we good? You understand what I'm talking about? You know, Gladiator normally talk ish. He ain't talk no ish then. That dude understood the severity of the situation. Like, damn. Oh man. My brother Daryl say, Robert Ory. What's going on, Andre Ware? What's going on in the building? Come on, you say I had an anime fan dissing T'Challa on the thread, and I told him to Naruto run his happy ass out of there before I show him my foot. My brother Daryl said, "We're season 2 of Cannon Busters." Come on, somebody. Ain't Kyle a race swap? Kyle. Are you talking about Kyle Richmond? Yeah, no, yeah, no. It's a different alternate reality. Actually, this Kyle Richmond is was created by Mephisto. So I can't call him a clone. I can't call him a Kyle Richmond from an alternate. That whole Squadron Supreme were created by Mephisto. So what are we calling that? Because I don't want to call it a recast, because honestly, that Kyle Richmond, I think the Kyle Richmond on Earth 616 is deceased. I have to check, but the possibility of having two Kyle Richmonds on Earth 616 is out there, a white one and a black one. But yeah, I don't know if I would actually call them a race swap, but I see what you're saying though. I see what you're saying. I do. I see what you're saying. My brother Daryl says Kyle is indeed a race swap. Like I said, Rhino's top out. Yeah, but he took down two of them, Kamoyo. I'm trying to figure out the weight of one of them, 3K and 10K. Okay, 3,000 pounds and 10,000 pounds. I think that's what my brother Daryl is saying. So yeah, Cap ain't taking down no 10-ton, no 10-ton rhinoceros. Steve not doing that. Might be able to do something with 3, but he's not doing it. So what was the purpose for this live today? It's something to be said for reading for yourself. Let me see. And the 10K one was Rabbit. Appreciate that one. More knowledge from my brother Daryl and everything like that. Y'all make sure y'all got him. Y'all subscribe to my brother Daryl and everything like that, because he stay dropping content, especially Black Panther content, like I do. So the purpose for this live today, I'm not gonna act like I don't use Marvel Wiki. I'm not gonna do that. But I use Marvel Wiki as a tool to point me in the right direction, not as a end-all say-all. That's not what that is. For instance, Marvel Wiki will tell you that Bash shows up in Fantastic 452. You read Fantastic 452, you go throughout Fantastic 452 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. You don't see Bash. What you do see is you see a totem of Bash, a giant totem of Bash. Well, I would not say that that's an official appearance of Bass, but that's what Marvel Wiki would tell you. This is when it pays to read the comic books. Rob's response, let me see, is the white cow still around? Nope. I wasn't sure, like, I didn't know if he got deceased or they just stopped writing him. I got to look into that. I want to know. But in regards to, is T'Challa just as intelligent as Reed? If I look at the feats that T'Challa has accomplished in the comic books, he's on par with Reed. He's on par with Reed. Now, if somebody wants to say he's smarter than Reed, okay. If somebody wants to say Reed is smarter than T'Challa, okay. But he's on par with Reed. He's not on par with Tony. And if Reed is where you got is where you starting at intellectually wise, then T'Challa is right there. I'm sorry. And for a comic book expert to make it as simple as a 1-word, 2-letter answer, that comic book reviewer, explainer, historian is being irresponsible. Because just like we know the details in regards of why are damn near all the Black comic book characters the same shade of brown, we understand what that is. Why is T'Challa not perceived as being as intellectually smart as Reed? Well, T'Challa ain't on Front Street like Reed. He's not. And we get different writers trying to focus on different things when they write T'Challa. Not to the point where we got the same writer writing T'Challa, I don't know, God knows how long, to when we get to see the character develop to the point where we see the character doing scientific feats on a consistent basis. We don't have that as Black Panther fans. We don't have that as comic book fans. And we know stuff like that matters. So for a comic book explainer to come out and be irresponsible, and mind you, I don't even know why he chimed in. Nobody added him. Nobody asked him. He just felt like he needed to give his expert opinion. It was a bullshit opinion, Rob. It was a bullshit, irresponsible opinion that makes me think about the month of February. Now, like I said, I'm not Ernie. I'm not Ernie. I believe in pulling up. I don't believe in the back and forth. I believe in pulling up. And as Natello would tell you, if he was here, I believe in asking difficult questions. So if you don't want difficult questions asked about how you perceive characters of color, I would touch my nose and tap all the way out of any Black Panther conversation. I would. Save yourself some time and trouble. Then T'Challa smack a dinosaur? He did. He did. Jungle action. Salute, y'all. There you go. Now tell him. You ain't got to mention his name at once. My dog, pull up. Not tell him, say salute to y'all. I'm so tired of Rob. I don't give him my energy, man. I believe everybody is good for what they're good for and everything like that. And he's good for some stuff every now and then, but you know, he's bad for some stuff every now and then too. And if we're a community, we need to be able to hold each other accountable when we effing up. He effing up. Afro said, hey, there are three Kyle Richmonds. There was an African American, yep, from alternate universe, right? The J.M. Straczynski Supreme Power Universe, which was destroyed. Yeah, he changed his name to Raymond Kane. Damn. Okay, good looking. Has smacked a couple of dinos in his career, Kamoya. Yep, damn sure had. What's going on, Afro? Jungle Action and Panther Scribe, T'Challa smacked up dinosaur. Damn sure did. That link he posted was disingenuous, and then Dr. Doom not even on that list, so I'm just confused. Here we go. And this is the biggest, this is a compliment that I'm actually finna pay Rob. I would have preferred it more so in just my opinion of him as a comic book reviewer, right? He'd gave his own list. He'd gave his own list because y'all gonna be like, wait a minute, Theo. No, I consider him credible. I consider him more credible than folks that just write these articles and everything like that. That is what that is. So I'm like, for you to tell me a list, give me a list that, because I'm asking myself, Rob, do you think they know more than you do? Or are you just using this list to back up what you just said? You cannot think these people know more than you do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they know more than I do. I damn sure know more. They don't care more than I do. And that's I'm not even gonna do that. So I'm like, if you got to know they don't know as more as you do. Why would you put that list up there to support your argument? You should be able to put your own list up there to support your argument. No, you're going off of somebody else. Well, ain't these the same folks that changed the Marvel Wiki to say that T'Chaka was in that Fantastic Four episode? Ain't these the same people? Same people, right? Same folks? Okay. So I don't think I'm trusting anything Marvel got going on in regard. I don't think I'm trusting anything Marvel's official status is in regards to T'Challa. No, I'm sorry. They ain't done enough to earn my respect right now. Let's see here. My brother Darryl said, this is why I'm saying he's doing it for the subs and attention. I say, do what we do and then unceremoniously ignore old Rocket Raccoon. Damn, that's tough. But my brother Kamoyo is speaking. Jermaine, hey man, I'm right there with you. I wouldn't have, big bro, I wouldn't have felt compelled to do a response video, but I feel like this is that when it's all said and done, there are more than enough people out there using their platforms to disparage this character. And to me, you're not just using your platform to disparage the character, you're also low-key to a degree using your platform to disparage people. And you know you're doing it. To your point, you're doing it for clicks and likes and everything like that. That's gonna get my attention. Because it's too easy to disprove what you said. And it being too easy to disprove what you said, now you're no longer credible. And you did it to yourself. A la Stephen A. Smith. You're no longer credible. But now we know you're one of those channels where folks don't necessarily go to get knowledge. They go to get entertained. You did it to yourself. I thank you. I appreciate it. All you did was the same folks that was upset, mad at you in February, and folks didn't want to go along with what they said. You just validated them. I don't think you care either. But once again, this was too easy. Listen, I'm out. Thank y'all so much for pulling up and everything like that. Share the video if you've been here this long and everything like that. Make sure you like the video. This is how we do pay bills and everything like that. And this is how we keep accurate information coming out about our favorite characters. You see what I'm saying? With an S at the end of it and everything like that. Let Rob know what the lick read. And if he want to pull up, I'm available for the pull up. You ain't got to be no angst, ain't got to be no animosity. We just gonna ask some tough questions. Why you lying? You ain't got a lot of kick, Craig, unless you just doing it for clicks and likes, a la what my brother Daryl said. Let me see here. Facts on changing info. Yeah. So that said, we are out. We ain't gotta agree. We ain't gotta like each other, but I'm looking at it like this. This channel is becoming more and more about comics and culture. It's what this channel is morphing into, more and more about comics and culture. When I say comics and culture, I'm speaking specifically about our comics and our cultures, those comics that affect us. Because I'm struggling. I'm struggling to see that out there right now. I'm struggling. That said, we're gonna make it do what it's gonna do. And remember the late great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Boseman. Until next time, we in here. This might be where we had a setup and everything like that. We're gonna have to make it see what we're gonna do, what it's gonna do. But we are in our brand new place. And for those who helped out financially, thank you so much. For those who helped out with prayers, thank you so much. We are finally in our brand new home. And I want to say, if you don't know, now you know. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Remember the late great Chadwick Boseman. I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so we out.